Solana's price action continues to consolidate, but there's some good and some bad news, some bearish and some bullish scenarios that I need to walk you through today so that you can be prepared to take advantage of the market as it presents these opportunities. As I get into today's video, smash that like button if you're new, subscribe, and let's jump right down into the charts and take a look at Solana's price action. Okay, so we're going to kick things off on the daily time frame here for Solana. This is a rather complex structure, but we are looking for a move to the downside, a bearish outlook for Solana. At the moment, we're forecasting somewhere between $93 and $107. But there's a silver lining here. This move to the downside doesn't have to happen right away. We may in fact find support on this 200 EMA, which is currently happening right now. We can see here that if we get a positive close today, there's a likelihood that we're going to see a surge to the upside in the coming days, next week, and so forth. Now, this move to the upside, I think we are likely to have a significant surge higher and find upper areas of resistance, as we had done previously up here in June 2024. Okay, so my expectations are that we are looking for a move to the upside before we break on down. But ultimately, it is a bearish move on the daily time frame. It is the bearish move that is going to be the most profitable. But that's not to say that you cannot trade this micro movement to the upside. Let's jump into that 1 hour time frame briefly and analyze what's going on here, because we do have an opportunity, and you can kind of see this rejection right now on the 200 hourly EMA. This is an area that has been tested quite aggressively, as you can kind of see right here. We tested it, testing it, and every single time we're failing. Okay, this shows that there is a huge amount of sell pressure around the 200 EMA. The most recent surge to the upside also looks like it has overextended its normal range, but let's go ahead and measure it just to make sure that I am correct in this thinking. Here you can see that it's gone up to 1.618. This means that we are likely to complete this move by following a little bit further to the upside. This looks like a very aggressive move, but we will be looking to see whether or not this sell pressure is something that we can chew on through. The next move will be a significant surge a little bit higher up into this upper area of resistance. So on the smaller time frames, we are looking for more volatility, and I'm going to draw this yellow box here between $149 and $152 to kind of give us a bit of a benchmark. Now, if I measure the distance on this most recent pullback right to here, we are going to be targeting out a slightly lower range, realistically speaking, between $148 and $149. It's right inside here. But if we do drop down lower, then we're going to see a bit more of a push to the upside. So you can see that this is upper area of resistance. It's quite aggressive with the amount of sell pressure that is here. But let's go ahead and throw on smart money concepts and take a look at where else is going on, or what else is going on. We can see that we have also got equilibrium that we're fighting right now as well. Equilibrium, for those who do not know, is a 50% level between our discounted area and our weak low and our premium area and our strong high. Basically, what this tells us is that if you're paying up here for Solana, you're paying a premium price. And if you're buying Solana down here, you're paying a discounted price. Where we are right now is essentially halfway between the two. And that basically means the market is not really decisive. It doesn't really understand whether to go bearish or go bullish. And unfortunately, because we're rallying up towards equilibrium, equilibrium is resistance, and we usually get rejected here. So we want to be quite cautious. If we can rally up and get a close position above the 200 EMA, then we can target out that range right up here at that $148 to $149. And that would be the trade. We would look for two candles closing above the 200 EMA and would go long, tight stop loss around the equilibrium, probably a little bit lower, probably $143. And we target out the lower range here at around $148. A 2.03 risk reward ratio, a little bit of leverage, and I think that would be a very profitable trade. Again, if I am to be leverage trading, I'm going to be trading on BitGet or Blowfin. They are my go-to platforms. Linked in the description below. If you haven't got accounts for them, check it out. I don't think you'll regret it. There's some fantastic deals available as well using the links in the description. So on the smaller time frame, maybe there's a push to the upside. If we take a look at our stochastics though, they're not looking as promising. There's a potential for a little bit of a surge, but ultimately we have run out of momentum. The buyers are exhausted. We're overbought on the hourly and 4 hourly time frame. So expect volatility here. I wouldn't think that this long position is really possible, although it's technically something that we have to kind of consider because we had that 1.618 surge here. This is a wave 4, therefore we have to have that surge a little bit higher. And in that case, we look for breakdowns. Anything lower than our 141.93 voids this idea, and we can obviously go short. Close positions below the 200 EMA here, 2 red candles consecutively, and I might be inclined to go short, stop loss above the previous swing high, and we'll probably target out quite deep towards some of these interesting areas of buy pressure, $138 as an example. Again, some options here for going short or going long on the market. So on the small time frames, it looks like we've got some volatility and some extreme options in terms of trading the cryptocurrency. So let's take a look at our daily time frame. What are we looking for? Well, we are looking for a bit of a move to the upside on the daily time frame. Momentum wise, we are in an okay spot, but we are overbought, of course, on the 1 hour, 4 hour, 8 hour time frames. We have got momentum on the daily chart, so there still is this hope that we can push up higher before collapsing. Ultimately, though, as I said earlier, the move for Solana is a bearish one. And if we can get a closed candle lower than the 200 EMA, one red candle closing lower, a second closed candle lower that is red, so a downward pressure closed candle on the daily time frame lower than 200 EMA, I would be going short, targeting out $100 on Solana, in my opinion. Okay, so a few options to different kind of trades here, but ultimately it looks like a bearish scenario for Solana, but I'm expecting a bit of a move higher before we get into those short positions, okay? So we'll look to complete out and find resistance, and yeah, from there we can kind of take advantage of the next big moves to the downside for Solana. But as I kind of always say, if we actually take some time to zoom out, the picture on Solana is actually incredibly bullish. It's not a bearish one. Ultimately, there's some opportunities to take advantage of the price action on the smaller time frames, but on the larger time frames here on the weekly time frame, I mean, this is a bullish chart. There's no way of denying it. It's looking very, very strong. Some volatility that we don't really have to pay attention to. If we're long-term holders, we are looking for the price action to drop down a little bit more, $93, $91, something to that effect. And we are targeting out $166 to $1,200 being a conservative target here for Solana. So we have a nice targeted range with the idea and potential for over $2,400 for Solana. So there's some phenomenal numbers on the macro time frame. It all depends on what your time horizon is, what you're looking for. Are you looking at the price action on the smaller time frames, on the larger time frames? Are you just buying and holding? Are you looking to actively swing trade? Are you on the smaller time frames trading in and out? There's so many different ways to approach the price action of Solana. Ultimately, I like to mix things up. I have a portfolio which is basically dollar cost average hodl buys, and I have a kind of a portfolio for trading where I'm in and out and I'm leverage trading on 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗓 or 𝗕𝗓𝗓 and basically taking advantage of the swings in the market. And occasionally I also take part in a bit of a swing trade in the market as well, using spot buys rather than leverage buys. There's so many different ways of tackling it. But if you want to know more, join us in our free Discord server. This link is in the description down below. There's a lot more details obviously that can be discussed down there. Fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. If you found this video useful, smash the like button. If you haven't done so yet, check out my second channel where I cover the technical analysis on Cardano just over here.